Hello, YouTube. You are watching some new tech in action that is allowing my wolf companions to hit this training dummy for quadrillions of damage. The tech comes from this lad here, who took the time in his video about the builds to give me a massive shout out, which made for a surreal Tuesday. Thank you very much, Rob. And thank you to the small army of people who got together to spam Rob's chat until he was aware of the fact that somebody had made a video about it. It's so easy for a smaller creator to make a video, have an idea, and for that idea to reach a large content creator indirectly, and then all of a sudden everyone's using your idea and nobody knows it's your idea. In the brief amount of time that I thought that's what had happened, it felt horrible. Uh, but the community came together and got the information to Rob, and he went above and beyond with the amount of exposure he gave me from that. So, thank you to everyone involved with that. It was truly, truly special. All right, enough of that. We're here for video games, so let's go over a few things. This is what Rob added to the build. When you incapacitate a bleeding enemy, you deal a massive amount of their total bleed, which, as we discussed last video, is quadrillions of bleed, as physical damage. Now, when I originally put together the build, I assumed that that would not work when we're turning Rend into a burn, but it doesn't take much testing to find out that it definitely works. That's what's hitting the target dummy for quadrillions. And the reason that we can apply that with Leap is that we can take this node here, which makes our Leap knockdown, which is an incapacitate. And the reason that my wolves are able to hit for quadrillions is that we got this second legendary aspect as a transfigure on our amulet, which essentially just always gives us a 44% chance to stun, incapacitate, for 2 seconds. Now, not only does that give us a lot more ways, a lot more potential ways to proc that damage, that this Skullbreaker's aspect, but it also seemed to immediately help with the main bottleneck of the build when you're pushing pits, which is tankiness. Also, thanks to some lovely people in the comments, it has been brought to my attention that the wolf companions apply vulnerable inherently, so we don't need this exploit glyph for its additional bonus part, and that means that we can swap it out for a glyph that has a damage multiplier as its additional bonus, such as Mr. Disembowel, so we get to add another damage multiplier to the build. Thank you, comments. I've been getting a lot of questions about stat priority and which stats we should go for. So you should really be looking for any combination of rend slash core slash martial skill levels, damage over time multiplier, vulnerable damage multiplier, fire damage multiplier, all damage multiplier, strength, and then the hidden gem stat that I only recently discovered, thanks to this transfigure mostly, is attack speed. If you're going for maximum farming speed, attack speed is your best friend. It not only does it make you apply more rends per second, but the difference it makes for how quickly your leap travels across the screen is pretty massive. Any combination of those stats should be good. I'm not sure how good attack speed is for your overall like pushing ability in pits. More testing needs to be done, but it definitely feels great. On your charms, we're just looking for martial skill level and whatever else you can get that's useful, probably max life, resist all elements, all stats, anything like that. On the expertise side of things, I've tested out what seemed plausible and settled on two-handed sword, partially because of the bleeding damage. It's actually not incredibly clear whether that bleeding damage affects rend when you turn it into a burn, but when I activate this expertise, it drastically increases my damage. Uh, that also interacts with things like disembowel. So it's not exactly obvious where the damage is coming from, but from my testing, expertise is by far the highest DPS option. One of the more common questions I got on the first video were about a potential Melted Heart of Selig version of the build, which is really appealing from a tankiness point of view, but it has a few downsides that made me not go down that route. Uh, Namely, that we lose one of these amulet aspects, which are both pretty massive for the build, especially because we're using a Shattered Vow, so we're missing out on one of our two-handed weapon aspects here. Missing out on another one feels pretty bad. This is the source of our overpower. We're stacking overpower on everything, so we really do want as much overpower as we can get, and the amulet's our only choice, considering that for for better or for worse, aspect of Limitless Rage is like a 10x damage multiplier, so that's just the best option on your two-hander. And then the other downside is that Shattered Vow has a massive max life roll on it, and for those of you that don't know, Melted Heart of Selig reduces the damage you take more the lower your HP pool is. So when you're playing that amulet, you really want to have under 500 HP if possible, and then that's how you achieve the immortality of Whirlwind Barb. All right, guys, that's the build. There's just been a new patch which I haven't had time to explore. I'm completely swamped with university at the moment. My exam season just started, but I'm having an absolute blast. I can't wait to keep pushing and optimizing and hearing what you guys come up with. It's been very fun to go on that journey with you guys. Again, a massive thank you to my crazy loyal friends, Josh and Pimenta, who helped bring attention to the build, to Mr. R.S. Scorp and his clan, who joined in on that and really just went above and beyond. None of you had to do that, and it means a lot. I'm crazy lucky, and it's been a very, very humbling and exciting week. Thanks for watching.